Peace. Good morning. Talk about something real quick before I get my day started. Um, so I'm getting a lot of feedback from people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of inboxes. People feel like I'm trying to snatch something from them. Now I'm just trying to put y'all on point. A lot of people been lying to the black community about all types of shit, everything from being Egyptian to being Hebrews, fucking being the Anunnaki, we've been everybody on the fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? Now, undoubtedly, with all respect to every one of your grandmothers, undoubtedly your grandmother said, we got Indian in our family. We Indian, we native. Undoubtedly, salute to your grandmother for passing that information on. She's probably sitting in a big chair, family talking, casual conversation, and it comes up. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you during them conversations, motherfuckers wasn't grabbing books. Motherfuckers wasn't pulling shit out. Motherfuckers wasn't showing DNA. That shit didn't exist back then. Pardon me. But I guarantee you when these conversations was being had, motherfuckers wasn't pulling out the type of shit that we pulling out today. 2024 about to be 2025, right? Now, some families were fortunate enough to have their shit, right? But for most people, it was, we Indian, we got Indian in our family, right? Family said the same thing. But on top of my family saying this, we have like historical accounts. We're still practicing the culture. We're still having our gatherings. We still celebrate the things we've been doing since we could, you know what I mean? So, and we know we're not the fucking real Indians. Like, we literally still got our cultures and our customs and our history, and we know we're not the full-blood real Indians. We know we're mixed. We know our history. We know about Brotherton. We know about Stockbridge. We know about all the different places where free people of color were intermixing with the Lenape. We know our history, right? So we have went to share this shit with others who kind of have the same story, but they don't got the details we got. Like, because I have all this, I have a responsibility, not just to myself, right? Not just to my family, right? Because we're able to retain so much of our information, right? Hold up. Right? Because we're able to retain so much of our information, this is just one, this is the Richardson side. Okay, this is the Richardson side. This is all New Jersey history. Accounts of our family and the contributions we made, right? See, like images, pictures, right? We're not just talking about what grandma said, right? Churches that my Indian ancestors built. You know what I'm saying? All types of history, right? So we're not just standing on what, look, Richardson family line. See what I'm saying? Like, we're not just standing on what grandma said. So, right, this is the Richardson side, right? The Cherokee side, Cherokee Lenape, because they mixed. This is the Rock side, who are African and Lenape, right? So this is both sides. Look, marriage licenses. Look at all this stuff. So when I fucking talk about the shit I'm talking about, I'm not just saying it because my grandmother said it. I'm saying it because we have fucking document. We got all types of recorded history. And guess what? This is like, these documents aren't United States Census documents and shit. These are local municipal, you know, these are records that go back before the United States even fucking existed. Like, these are the records that the United States, when they incorporate your fucking town into the United States, right, into the country, when they incorporate it, this is the stuff that they say, we need you to hand us your rolls, which is your record of who fucking lives in your town or village. Do y'all know what incorporation is? These are the processes that our ancestors would have went through to become citizens. So let me get back to what I was really getting to, right? So you got people running around here telling people they're the original Indians, black folk, right? Absolute false. And then they want to turn the argument that I'm saying they're not Indians. No, I'm not saying you niggas ain't got Indian in you. I'm not saying you niggas ain't Indian. I'm saying you niggas ain't the original Indians. I'm not saying fucking Sekou is not Yamasee. I'm saying the shit he's telling y'all about the Yamasee being black is a fucking lie. And it says it in the same goddamn document that he's using to say that there was a Negro fucking presence. If he'd have read the whole fucking document, it has said that shit clear. So I'm going to read the fucking document because people think, like, this ain't about fuck him, fuck every nigga that been lying to you. This is about the truth. I don't give a fuck about these niggas. I'm good. I don't need niggas' money. I'm not grifting. I'm not out here begging niggas for shit. I get up. I go drink my fucking coffee. I go do my writing. I do my editing. My checks come in and I'm good. I don't fucking need niggas. I do this because my soul, my spirit sees what motherfuckers is being put through, and I only fucking announce myself and my family and our history fucking 10, 12, 13 years ago to help niggas who was fucking confused about what's going on. That's the only reason I fucking open my mouth. And if I shut the fuck up and don't ever say another word to niggas again, me and my family will be fine. We not losing out. Who's losing out? All these niggas following people who don't know what the fuck they talking about. And half the people that are fucking advising y'all don't have no native lineage. And they're fucking it up for you who have the actual lineage. They're telling you all types of fuck shit that's making you hate your fucking family members, people who you're going to find out you're connected to. And guess what? You're going to have problems with them motherfuckers anyway. You're going to have issues with them that the United States created that are going to go back 200 years. You're going to have those issues irregardless. So you don't need to come walking into the room with a bunch of extra bullshit on you. Oh, they stole your culture. They this, they. Let me tell you something, bro. How the fuck does paperwork erase what's in your mind? How does the fucking white man census dude come into your house, writing down what he thinks you are? How does that suck all the knowledge out of your actual brain? Because the census worker came to my grandfather's house and marked everyone down Negro, we just all of a sudden forgot that we're mixed lenape because they wrote it down on the government paper. We just forgot. No. Niggas ain't know that they classified us as whatever until fucking generations later when you go back and look and go, God damn, I didn't know they had us as mulatto. I didn't know that. Oh, they got us as Negro here. They got us as mulatto here. Because they've got us as Negro in one, mulatto in the other, doesn't change shit in real life, only on paper. So all you paper motherfuckers, right? You're missing what's actually happening. Because the actual knowledge of who you are should exist within your family. You shouldn't have to go outside to these records to verify it. It should exist within your family, right? And guess what? It wasn't just white people who kept records. White people aren't the only one who keep history, right? Even if you don't have a fucking, even if you don't, oh, this shit is crazy. Even if you don't have a fucking alphabet, our ancestors had ways of keeping history. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Our ancestors had ways of keeping knowledge, right? I'm gonna show you how Lenape ancestors kept it. See that? Look at this. See, we have glyphs. See that? Those are glyphs, just like Kemet, right? Not the exact same glyphs as Kemet. Don't get it fucked up. I'm saying that ancient people, modern people, use symbols. You talk about branding yourself, and what do? You create a logo. Within that logo, you put things that tell a story about what your company is. That's not no new concepts. Motherfuckers been branding shit, been writing shit, been making symbols and stuff that reflect things for fucking as long as man been here. Right? So all this we didn't write. No, we had our own records. Now I'm getting long-winded. Let me get back to what I really wanted to talk about. And that's this whole, why am I having to look into this history? Why? Because motherfuckers who I trust, who I had trusted, right, who I gave the benefit of the doubt, have been lying to people. Straight lying, cherry picking, like using information against people. So now I'm like, you know what? Let me look at it for what it is. Let me look at it, right? Because I trust myself. I have great comprehension. I was a great student in school, right? I sat at the front of the class. I'm not the nigga that sat in the back and threw shit around. I went and sat at the fucking front of the desk because I was at school to fucking learn. See what I'm saying? I ain't never had a problem with gaining knowledge. It's never been my issue. So rather than fucking rely on other people's understandings, I'm gonna fucking read it for myself and get my own understanding. So this is what happens when I read this shit for myself. All right. So this comes from a report called Report on Indians Taxed and Not Taxed. This information, I just copy and pasted it from the actual video that the nigga was using, right? I copied and pasted the actual text so I could actually read straight through it, right? His video, I paused it at a point where his image wasn't covering it, right? And I fucking screenshot it, and I copied it, then I pasted it so I could read everything and not just what he wants me to read. So what does this report say? Right? That he's bragging that it proves that there's a Negro whatever in the Creek. Let me tell you something about the Creek nation. The Creek was the most progressive nation of all the first contact nations. The most progressive. What do I mean by that? Meaning they accepted Africans into their nation. They gave them opportunity to either mix with them, to escape north, or to create their own little communities, right? And because they absorbed so many black people into their communities, these people who had just been newly freed slaves, coming with that work ethic, coming with that wanting better for themselves, the fucking Creek Nation did well. And they're going to talk about that in this fucking article that he's trying to use to convince y'all that Creeks were originally black. Fuck out of here. So I'm going to read this shit. The civilization of the 5 tribes has not been accomplished without a vast expenditure of time and money by white people. All right. So now, motherfuckers could say, oh, no, this is the fucking article that Seiko presented. He just didn't read the whole fucking article. He only cherry picked to give y'all the shit that he wanted you to fucking hear. But I'm gonna read the whole fucking article, right? Report on Indians taxed and not taxed. And you can't argue with me about this because he introduced this to the conversation. Like if this was court, this would be him entering this as evidence to court. So now as the cross-examiner, okay, let me see that. Let me see that document, sir. Let me cross-examine that motherfucking document. The civilization of the 5 tribes has not been accomplished without vast expenditure of time and money by white people. No Indians in the United States have received such care from the whites or have been aided so much by the United States. So off the first two lines, they're telling you these motherfuckers are straight in bed with the United States and have received more assistance than any other fucking nation, Indian nation in America, right? Do I got to read this fucking shit again? No Indians in the United States have received such care from the whites or have been aided in so much by the United States. The trust land interest paid them by the United States has amounted to tens of millions. No figures are at hand to verify this, but 925 million would be a small estimate. This is 1800, and they're already telling you they've given these 5 civilized tribes over $900 million. This is 1800. Now, I could get into a whole nother conversation off that, but I'll leave that for another time. We only 2 fucking sentences in on this goddamn document, and he ain't say none of this shit to you. The trust land interest paid them by the United States has amounted to tens of millions. No figure at hand to verify this, but 925 million would be a small estimate. Much of their, now this is the dagger in the hearts of these motherfucking lying niggas. Straight dagger. Straight dagger. Here we go. Much of the progress due to a large Negro population in the several nations. The great portion of these Negroes were at one time slaves, and they are now the laborers of the 5 tribes. This is the article Sekou is trying to stand on. But he's not reading the whole fucking article to you, which says he's disingenuous. So I don't give a fuck if he full blood, half blood, quarter blood, Crip. I don't give a fuck what type of gang nigga he is. Blood, Crip, GD, I don't give a fuck. He ain't read the whole lessons. He ain't read the whole lesson. He wasn't being honest. Now, let's go. I'm going to read that again for you, though. Much of their progress is due to a large Negro population in the several nations. The great portion of these Negroes were at one time slaves, and they are now the laborers of the 5 tribes. Yeah, and I know we could say that don't mean that they could have been other Indian slaves. Yeah, they could have been other Indian slaves because the Yamasee was motherfucking slavers. Because the Yamasee was working with the British and slaving and capturing other fucking Indians and selling them to the fucking British. So you're right. You're right. This could be the case. It could be the case of Indians being sold into slavery by other Indians, namely the Yamasee. It's fucking in the history books. You niggas want me to look into the history books? I'll look into them. I'm going to come up with something different because you niggas is lying. You niggas is either don't know this history or you're fucking lying. But since you put me up on something very valuable, I'm going to continue to go through it. The Creek Nation, whew, oh, no, hold up. I can't skip this one. So the next one is they are fairly well advanced and are steadily increasing in numbers, wealth, and intelligence. They're talking about the Negroes in the 5 civilized tribes. That's who they're talking about. They are fairly well advanced and are steadily increasing in numbers, wealth, and intelligence. In 1836, Albert Gallatio stated that the number of plows in the 5 tribes answered for the number of able-bodied Negroes. Damn. Damn. I feel like Florida Evans. Damn. James is dead. I just got the word. This nigga's gone. I just got the word. Damn. Let me read that again. Much of their progress is due to a large Negro population in the several nations. We're talking about the 5 civilized tribes. The great portion of these Negroes were at one time slaves, and they are now the laborers of the 5 tribes. So the 5 civilized tribes have gotten $900 million up at this point. They are now getting, see, free labor, like I don't mean free labor as in slavery. I'm saying the people who are working for them now are free people. So those Negroes that are now part of these nations are working as much for the nation as they are for themselves because they're free. So how much more work, how much more motivated do you think these Negroes are now that they're free? And this is what fucking grew the Creek Nation. And it's all right here in the government documents. Ain't that what you said? This is a government document. This is the document you presented. You just ain't read it because you're being disingenuous. Now, let's keep going. Here we go. The Creek Nation is an alert and active one, which is largely due to the Negro element, which fairly controls it. So that's what he read to you. That's what he read to you without reading everything else before it, which sets up that line. So now if we read that line in itself, the Creek Nation, he didn't even read that. He said, Negro, he said, he paraphrased it. He said, there is a Negro element which fairly controls it. That's what he said. But the actual line is, the Creek Nation is an alert and active one, which is largely due to the Negro element which fairly controls it. And that's coming off of the line before, which says they are fairly well advanced and are steadily increasing in numbers, wealth, and intelligence. See, this shit is so dishonest, disingenuous the way he's presenting it. Now let's go to the next one. Remember, this is an art, this is a government document. This is not no Wikipedia shit. All right, here we go. Oh, damn. Here we go. In the Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with a Negro. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. Let me read this again, Chief Warhorse. Or we could play these word games. Choctaw, Choctaw, tomato, tomata. Play that fucking game. But let's look at what the government, right? Because the government matters when you're presenting this information, when you're using it as proof to prove your point. But when I cross-examine it, now we're going to say it's just the government and fuck the government and they don't mean nothing. But when you're trying to use it, it's official. But we're going to keep going. In the Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with a Negro. In the Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with a Negro. In the Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with the Negro. In any of the 5 tribes where the Negroes have a fair chance, there is a perceptible progress due to them. Let's break that down. In any nation where Negroes were being absorbed and accepted into the nation, right? What does it say? It says that they had perceptible progress due to the Negroes, which means the nation was growing in wealth, right? In resources, right? Because those newly freed slaves were now fucking working for themselves. So how much more motivated are you now that you're partnering with these Indians who have showed you love? You're married in, you got kids with them, you're giving your lots of land. Yeah, these niggas went to work, turned the Creek Nation inside out. And that's why we have so many Black Creeks running around here. But these niggas is not being honest with you. But guess what? I will. And I don't give a fuck if all y'all niggas hate me. Because in 10 years down the line, 15 down the line, y'all gonna be like, damn, that was a good brother right there. And we fucking running behind Dane Callaways and Top Trash and motherfucking Ab Powders and shit. That's who y'all running with. And these niggas can't read. But let me get back to this. All right. Let me bring that back though. Rewind. We're gonna do it like that. In the Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with the Negro. In any of the 5 tribes where the Negroes have a fair chance, there is a perceptible progress due to them. And you niggas want to erase that out your fucking. I ain't got no African in me. I don't. My grandmother ain't telling me. I ain't got. Your grandmother ain't have access to this information. Now, here we go. The Negroes are among the earnest workers in the 5 tribes. Woo. The Negroes are among the earnest workers in the 5 tribes. What they're telling you is the NBA wasn't shit until niggas joined it. That's what they're telling you. The NFL wasn't shit until niggas joined it. Major League Baseball wasn't shit till niggas joined it. The 5 civilized tribes at this point wasn't shit until niggas joined it. That's what this says. The Negroes are among the earnest workers in the 5 tribes. The earnest workers. What does that mean? The hardest workers, the most valuable. Like, this shit is not hard. If you're stupid and can't comprehend shit, or if you're being disingenuous and trying to lie to people, yeah. But no, this shit is not hard. Now let's go. The Creek Nation affords the best example of Negro progress. Now, this is the line he tried to use against you niggas. It's the line he tried to use against you niggas that want to feel good. Oh, I feel so good because we're the real Indians and I don't have to do any work to get my land back. I can just say land back. That shit works for the other Indians because they're real, because they really have treaties and they really have, you know what I mean, say so. It don't work for you niggas. And if you want it to work for you, you got to link back up with your nation because they're the ones that can say land back, not you niggas. Not if you're talking indigenous, native. Now, if you're talking personal family shit, yeah, you can get your land back on a personal family shit. Me and my family doing it now. But if you're talking native, I'm an Indian and I want my land back. Oh no, that's some nation shit. But let me keep going on because I can't get away from this. All right. The Creek Nation affords the best example of Negro progress. The principal chief, virtually a Negro, comes of a famous family in Creek annals. And yes, he does come from a very famous family. And when you look up that family's genealogy, the further they go back, they go into full-blood Indians, and then they go back into even being mixed with white people. So this motherfucker's trying to tell you Chief Perryman was a Negro, and Chief Perryman come from a long line of fucking mixed Native Americans, full bloods and mixed white Native Americans. The black blood doesn't start getting infused until these motherfuckers start escaping. See what I'm saying? To the 1800s. Them Creeks and all them people back in the 1600s were mixed with white people. They ain't start mixing with black people until like the 1800s. So he's trying to present this chief in 1887 as an example of black leadership. 1887? My grandmother was born in 1902. Does that mean my grandmother is indicative of what a real lenape looks like? A woman born in 1902? You think she would be indicative of what a fucking full-blooded lenape look like? Fuck no. Y'all wilding, y'all bugging. These niggas is lying to you and y'all love it. I'm gonna read the real truth to you again. The Creek Nation affords the best example of Negro progress. The principal chief, virtually a Negro, comes of a famous family in Creek annals. Yes, he does. Look up the Perryman. And as you look at the pictures as they go back, they're gonna look more and more like full-blood Native Americans. Then they're gonna look like Native Americans that mix with white people, because that's who the fuck they are. So this nigga trying to push them off as fucking Negroes, it's another fucking lie. His name is Laquesh Cloture Perryman. He was born in the Creek Nation Indian Territory, March 1st, 1838. Educated Talabasco Mission of the same nation, enlisted in the Union Army in Kansas, November 1862, and was Sergeant Major for the 1st Regiment Indian House Guards, 1863. He served as a district judge of the Cowit District, Muskogee Nation, 6 years, was elected to council and served 13 years. He was elected principal chief and inaugurated December 1st, 1887 for the term of 4 years. So that's his whole political career. All right. Whole political career, right? The Negroes, once slaves of the 5 tribes, are of much interest in connection with the final settlement of the land question. Now they're getting into what? They're getting into the whole Creek settlement of land and what the Negroes and the freedmen, we're getting into the whole freedmen conversation now. Now it says the 5 tribes except the Seminoles all owned slaves prior and during the war. Why didn't the Seminoles own it? Because the Seminoles are the ones who were they were the Creeks that were fleeing because they were helping to free the slaves. So of course they didn't own slaves. But these are the things that these people will try to switch around to try to use to prove their point, but they can't. All right, so it goes, the 5 tribes except the Seminoles all owned slaves prior to and during the war. These were freed by the Proclamation of Emancipation after much protest by the Treaty of 1800. 1800. Now here we go. In 1800, the total number of slaves held by the 5 tribes was 7,200. Remember this. Remember that. In 1800, the total number of slaves was 7,200. Now we're going to keep going. All right. The Seminoles held no slaves in Indian Territory. Since the war, there has been a very large increase in the Negro population of the 5 tribes by immigration from the old slave states adjacent. Now remember, this is the document that he was trying to use to prove that there is a Negro presence in the Creek Nation, but he didn't want to tell you the details of how there was a Negro presence in the Creek Nation. I got to tell you that shit. I shouldn't have to, but I have to. Why? Because niggas think I'm out here trying to be some fucking police or nothing. Nah, I'm trying to help you niggas who are being lied to. Like, y'all being intellectually bullied by motherfuckers who know a little bit more than you. And then the people that know more than them are looking at you, looking at them like, that's a fucking lie. Just like that white boy just checked Billy Carson because the white boy know more than Billy Carson, and Billy Carson's fucking viewers don't know more than Billy Carson. So there's a natural hierarchy here. Who the fuck else is supposed to check Billy Carson? None of his people are, because they don't fucking know the information. It's got to be somebody who knows the information, come from a loftier position. Fuck out of here. So the Negro question, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Seminole, the equities and rights of these people in the land of the 5 civilized tribes and to citizenship have yet to be properly settled. So this is a document from 1800 saying that they're still having issues trying to determine who gets what. Now the Creek are slightly different because they've embraced their Negroes. The other 4 tribes still haven't, right? So the Creek is like, we good. We've been embraced our Negroes. That's why there's so many Black Creek running around here. But I don't know shit. This is what the article that Sekou, this is what the document, because it's not an article, it's a government document. This is the government. This is what the government presented. And Sekou stands on this. Listen, I have no need to be looking up fucking Seminole and Creek history. I'm Lenape. I got no need to be looking this stuff up. I only know about this because he presented it, but he presented it in a disingenuous way. So now I got to do what I got to do. Did it to the Moors. I did it to these fake conscious niggas. Because guess what? Like, I deal with righteousness, bro. I'm not going to sit up here and y'all fucking lying to people. So let's go. The population of Negro descent remember I said 7,200 was the number of slaves in the 5 civilized tribes, 7,200. Now let's look at this. The population of Negro descent in the 5 tribes, which includes former slaves, in 1800 was, as with the Cherokee, 5,127. So it's 5,127 Negroes in the Cherokee Nation. So are we saying that Cherokee Nation is only 500 people? Or it's only 5,000 people? Or are we saying the Negro population of the Cherokee? We're saying the Negro population of the Cherokee Nation is exact numbers, 5,127 and 1,800. So how would the Cherokee be Negroes? Right? Now, Chickasaw, 3,676 Negroes in the Chickasaw Nation. If you're saying that the real Chickasaw and the real Choctaw are Negroes, then you're saying there's only 5,000 Cherokee, there's only 5,000 Negro Chickasaw, who are supposed to be the originals, Choctaw, 4,406, Creeks, 4,621. Now check this out. Seminole, 806. I thought that shit said 506 the other day. 806. It was late. So they're saying that there's 800 and 1,800. There's 806 Seminoles. And I got to keep re-emphasizing, this is the document that Sekou produced. This is what he's standing on. He says this valid. So we can't cherry pick. We can't pick and choose what's valid from the document. If you're standing on this and you took 2 lines out of here to push your point, all of this shit I read to you, he chose 2 lines. Out of all this shit I just read to you, he chose 2 lines out of it to make a point. So now, I'm going to read that again. Population of Negro descent in the 5 tribes, which includes former slaves, of which was 7,200 total. In 1,800, the Cherokee, 5,127. Chickasaw, 3,676. Choctaw, 4,406. Creeks, 4,621. Seminoles, 806. Total, 18,636. Now, out of the 18,636, 7,200 were former slaves. So we're looking at what's the difference between 18,000 and 7,000. We're talking 10,000. So we're talking about 10,000 people who were either free or mixed. And these niggas is telling you that these free or mixed black folks in these nations are the real original ones. Then why all this documentation? Why determine the difference? Oh, because they was doing this and they was doing that and they was doing, all the conspiracies and everything. Okay, so tell me why you ain't read this whole article and tell me why you ain't take the time to explain all this to your people. Why did you just choose there's a Negro in the Creek Nation? Why you ain't tell why there was? And why am I sitting up here having look like the bad guy to fucking tell people? Right? While you're up here co-signing Dane Calloway, while you're up here co-signing the research guy. Obviously, you're co-signing them because they're grifters and they're fucking lying to the people, which makes me think if you're going to fucking come in a room and you're going to see Turtle Gang standing on one side of the room and you see Dane Calloway and them niggas on the other side of the room, you walk over to that side of the room, I think it's obvious. Now, if you think those are the real motherfuckers that stand on the truth, the research guy and Dane Calloway, if you think them niggas are the real motherfuckers that stand on the truth, then, you know what I mean? There ain't nothing I could do. But I know one thing, I can keep reading this motherfucking document, and this is just one page. This is just one page. I could keep going through this shit. Let me tell you, I did a 20-minute fucking breakdown of this nigga's fucking video, and I only got through the first 2 minutes. 2 minutes of lies turned into a 20-minute fucking documentary, 20-minute little film. Let these niggas fuck with me. I go through their whole shit. You got a 2-hour fucking interview? I turned 2 minutes into 20 minutes exposing your dumb ass. What you think I'm gonna do with the whole 2 hours? All you niggas. All you niggas. Ask polite. Ask these niggas. I'm not no new motherfucker. And I'm not dumb. I'm far from dumb. Far from fucking dumb. We'll fucking tear Zachariah Sitchin's ass up. All these motherfucking frauds. Billy Carson's a fucking fraud. Fuck Billy Carson. Fuck Timu Billy Carson. Fuck all these niggas. And I don't know why you niggas keep bringing up Dr. York. That nigga's locked up for the worst crime you could commit. You niggas got no fucking morals. Fuck out of here. Yeah, we gonna, and I got some real freemen here that we gonna set up and have real conversations with. I'm gonna turn the whole platform over to them. This is your platform. Set these people straight. Like, I don't know what y'all be thinking, but Turtle don't go for that shit. All this niggas claiming to be their full blood, these niggas is full blood liars. These niggas is full-blooded liars. That's what the fuck they are. And then nigga be like, oh, but listen, I'm not saying none of these lying ass niggas ain't got no ancestry. I'm not saying none of these lying ass niggas don't have native ancestry. They very well might. That don't mean that the story they telling is true. That's not what that means. It means they're using what authentic aspects of their reality to try to misrepresent the truth so they can grift on you niggas. That's it. Now, I'm gonna fucking post that whole, what I just read off, I'm gonna post that with this video so all you disingenuous niggas can act like it's not there and try to argue with me. All you disingenuous niggas can sit up here and say, oh, they set up Billy Carson. They set him up. No, Billy Carson was with the same white people he be with all the time. That white boy that set him up, that white boy that went to his wedding, that white boy that he's been friends with for 10 years, that white boy that he invited to his wedding and he married an Asian woman, but got you black bitches out here trying to say somebody's trying to take down a fucking another strong black man. This nigga don't give a fuck about you. Bitch, if you don't go throw that fucking shrimp out, you still eating fucking shrimp, bitch. Fuck out of here. Peace, man. Turtle. Fucking with you niggas.